Hey everybody, welcome back. In today's video, I want to have a look at Filecoin. Now Filecoin is currently ranked 33 market cap wise as of recording this video. It's basically a decentralized storage system, so for people that want to deploy servers, run apps, whatever it is, you can store your data with Filecoin and pay your fees through the native token of that blockchain, which is of course FIL, which we're having a look at today. Now, one thing I do want to quickly say, I will be mentioning the all-time high, obviously, in this video. This here, I will not consider the all-time high, because although there is, on most charts when it was listed, which was at the end of 2020, even though there does seem to be this big spike up for all of them, I will not mention this because it's not a real all-time high due to price performance and market cycle. It's just because basically some like Filecoin seller tried to chance their arm basically and listed FIL for obviously $428, and somebody who didn't know, who just arrived on the scene, basically saw this price and thought that was what the going rate was, so they bought some, and then obviously it went to about $40, which would be heartbreaking for whoever paid 400 quid for it. But yep, it's a good lesson. Anyway, so yeah, basically I will be looking at the 237 US dollars as the all-time high. So getting straight into it, we can see Litecoin has been struggling. I mean, this whole cycle, I mean, it joined just in time for the 2021 peaks, you know, the bull run, where, you know, Bitcoin and many other altcoins put in all-time highs. And we can see it basically peaked out very early on in March, whereas Bitcoin was August and Ethereum was September. Filecoin was March, like a few other altcoins, and then just lower highs ever since then. You can see it did have a second wind in August-September time when Ethereum and Bitcoin, like many other altcoins, but it did basically just die out as soon as it reached this price. Now, the reason I wanted to make a video on Filecoin today is, first of all, I do think it's a useful coin with actual application. You know, it actually can provide use. You can store things with Filecoin, a decentralized cloud service, basically. But also because what kind of fascinates me is the current price drop from now to the all-time high is huge, absolutely huge. And considering this is basically a top 30 crypto, you know, its market cap has held within the top 30 for the last 2 years. To have such a huge potential to, you know, even if it got close to its all-time highs, you're still looking at like a 40x at least. Let's if we go down to the current price here, and we bring it to here, you're looking at is that a 69x? I mean, it's stupid money if you're buying now, and then you're even hoping that it comes back to this level. I mean, even if it does a 10x in the next bull run and it goes up to $40, I mean, that's something that is very possible when you zoom out and look at the actual chart. Because I know, like, obviously this sort of price action is a huge red flag in any sort of stock that you look at. You see this, and it basically says whatever it is has died. Nothing has happened. Nothing good has happened to it in the last 2 years, or ever since like here, basically. And that's true. FIL has not done anything, but neither has the whole of the crypto space. I mean, basically all cryptocurrency is looking like this currently. And if we were to go back to 2017, when we had our last bull run before the previous one, and looked at the years afterwards, we see the exact same thing. So as long as you have hope and the 4-year cycle, it's definitely not like, you know, that's where you have to sort of draw your line. I'm assuming if you're watching me that you have some sort of faith or understanding that Bitcoin roughly follows a 4-year cycle, which is to do with its halving and just how, you know, liquidity comes and goes into the actual crypto space. And oftentimes its 4-year cycle will be forced on to basically all the other altcoins, because all altcoins basically follow Bitcoin. None of them have really managed to actually separate themselves. Ethereum is not, I wouldn't call it an altcoin, really, but it still moves with Bitcoin. You know, anything that moves Bitcoin's price will move Ethereum's price. And it's the same with all these altcoins. So, you know, whereas Bitcoin has recovered this year, Filecoin obviously has not. We have seen a little recovery. I mean, it was about $3 at the beginning of this video, and now it's worth $4, which isn't much to go home about, but there is, you know, that is still a, what, 25% up? I can't do maths. 50% up, which is, you know, if you bought at the bottom, that's good. I mean, you could have made some nice money if you somehow managed to miraculously time this top and bottom. You could have done a 3x, which would have been very nice. But looking at the current price action, we can see that it's just been basically lower high, lower low, all the way down. We had a little reversal here. Whatever happened, it was obviously some whale buying up or some good news. I'm actually not too sure. Haven't been too clued in on the coin. But it obviously had a little trend reversal here and then went straight back into this downward spiral, really. And even if we zoom out again, we can see it's the same story. Lower highs, lower lows, zooming out, you know, lower highs, lower lows, and oftentimes just cataclysmic drops where we lose huge amounts of value in the coin, and it's been having them all year. Where this sell pressure is coming from, I don't know. It could be, you know, whether it's a vesting schedule that unlocks to early buyers, I'm not too sure. I just know that it obviously exists and is doing a good job of dampening the price. If we have a look at our Fibonacci's again, we can see that we've just broken down below this lower level in the short term. This is basically for this year. If you want to, actually, we can bring it to basically 2023. Doesn't really change anything. You can see that we've just broken down below this red level, and during the whole year we had our Santa rally, New Year's rally, and ever since we've just been dipping down below the previous supports, and they become resistances, you know. So again, not good really for FIL. If we also, I'll turn on one of my moving averages. This is a moving average Bollinger Band. I'll get rid of this Fibonacci so that you can see it more clearly. If you don't know what a moving average Bollinger Band is, it basically takes these three lines. This middle one is the moving average. So whether it's a 20-day, a 50-day, it just takes the values of the last 50 days and divides them by whatever number, so that you get an average, that number being days. And these two lines here are just two standard deviations of the moving average, and this one is to the up and this one is to the down. So, and if you don't know what a standard deviation is, I won't get into it. It's not something I can explain very quickly, but it's just below double. Two standard deviations is just below double, roughly. It's a bit confusing. I don't know how to say it without. Basically, it's just a range at which a price of a stock or coin or anything, a commodity, will often stay within. It basically accounts for a 95% move in each direction of probability. Anyway. So we can see that Filecoin has also stayed within this Bollinger Band movement as well, and it's also just recently broken below the moving average, and we can see it tested it here. It obviously got rejected, and it went all the way down to the bottom here, where it found support at its, you know, two standard deviations, its Bollinger Band, and then it came back up. It went to test the moving average again, got rejected, and now we can see we're sort of floating in no man's land. But overall, a good rule of thumb, if you're new to Bollinger Bands and all this, if it's below the moving average, oftentimes, you know, it's not doing great. And if it's above the moving average, it's doing okay. Anyway, that's kind of all I wanted to show you guys. Just a sort of a potential for big returns if you're buying now and waiting. I mean, do I think FIL will return to its all-time highs? I don't know. I kind of don't think so, to be honest with you. I feel like we might see a peak like this, where we go up to a price like this. I mean, the thing that's, I would have wrote this off, to be honest with you, as sort of just a low cap gem, if you get me, if it wasn't for the fact that it was in the top 30, basically. I mean, it's ranked 33 right now, but, you know, coins like that will often move up and down slightly in their position. It's just that fact that's making me not want to forget about it completely, really. Because often coins like that, if they're still ranked 30 now, there's still going to be a big community there. There's still going to be developers working on the coin. It's still going to be providing a service for companies and other blockchains that it agreed on in the previous bull run. And I do have a feeling, to be honest with you, as long as it lasts this next year and into 2025, we could see big returns on it. But of course, not financial advice. I don't know what I'm talking about. Take everything I say with a huge truckload of salt. Anyway, thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate you watching. Take care and peace.